It all started with a cult. They wanted me to be in New York, to be at the UN General Assembly. I never thought that I would be the U.S. Youth Observer to the UN. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington, and I'm a junior at Boston College. I was selected in September by Ambassador Susan Rice. She decided this would be a great opportunity to have the U.S. be more engaged with the youth delegate program.
And we need, as the Secretary General said, your youth and your energy. We need the experience of all.
This year there was 40 youth delegates at the UN. They have the opportunity to speak on behalf of their delegation at the General Assembly and also to participate on a variety of resolutions focusing on youth issues. I spent a week at the UN General Assembly with the U.S. delegation going to different events and also speaking at the Social Good Summit to talk about how technology can be leveraged towards mobilizing people. People from all fields in our generation are going to be working together and collaborating together on these issues. Collaborating together on these issues. On these issues.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the Intercontinental. I came here in 5th grade. Being from the West Coast, it gave me a sense of the country's history. We have a much more recent history in Seattle. So it was really interesting for me to visit other memorials. It really made an impression on me as a 5th grader. My interest in youth and development really started for an organization called the Fabric of Life Foundation, and I became involved in that when I was 12 years old. What drew me to this role as the U.S. Youth Observer was a number of the experiences I had when I was younger, studying and traveling abroad. I get so many different emails from young people and a lot of young colleagues, and they just finally they feel like they have a youth resource that they can talk to. When I was in high school, I studied abroad in India on a scholarship, and then I also, again on a scholarship, lived in Senegal.
You are listening to International Edition on the Voice of America.
I've traveled to Tajikistan studying Farsi with the U.S. State Department. 2 years ago, the United Nations Association sponsored an educational and cultural tour of Iran, and I decided to raise funds so that I could participate as a youth representative on the delegation. I spent a month in Iran traveling around the country, speaking to different university students, young artists. متاسفانه الان نماینده ایرانی نماینده جوان ایرانی در سازمان مللی نیست. It was an incredible trip. I also had the fortunate opportunity to meet with the Afghan young diplomats. One of the striking things about this encounter was that one of the men from the delegation came up to me and he said, how can I promote the rights of women and girls in Afghanistan? And I think there's really unlimited possibilities in the capacity of this role, unlimited possibilities in the capacity of this role. What's next? How do we ensure that youth engagement isn't just a check mark, and that youth really have influential role in terms of policy making and decision making?
So what I like about this lobby is it's where all the visiting dignitaries come, and so sometimes they'll come and there'll be a red carpet rolled out. It's pretty cool.
And you just want to walk down the middle of the
you
carpet
sort of have to stand there
like...
awkwardly, but it's pretty cool. They literally roll out a red carpet. So Brooke, you've been in this position for a few months now. What are some of the key issues that people have brought up in conversation with you?
I think one of the most surprising things for me has been the fact that there's so much genuine commitment at the State Department in all bureaus to have more youth participation. And I think that we'll definitely see a strong push for that going forward.
Good. Well, it's great to see you.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that you meant to thank you just about everybody around the State Department, I think. Yeah.
Making the rounds.
What's been the reaction to you? What have students both in your own university said, and then other students that you met? What do they raise with you, and what do they ask you to talk about as the U.S. Youth Observer?
I think I've been surprised at how interested people have been in my own background, and how this type of spark emerges in a young person. A lot of my friends, we grew up volunteering in our community. I always tell them, you're going to get your start based on what you do in your own community and learning from that. And if you were to say, anything to the other youth delegates, what would be sort of the message that you would want to convey in terms of the work that they've been doing?
I'd commend them for wanting to make a difference in the world around them, wanting to be working in international affairs. So I think that's great. And I think their enthusiasm is something that spreads to all of us, which is a good thing as well.
Please stand by. Good day and welcome to the Human Rights Youth and the United Nations conference call.
Hi, my name is Rena. I'm a junior in high school. For about a month, everyone was all like, oh my gosh, we have to help women and stuff, but it kind of blew over and they're all over it. I liked what you guys said about keeping everyone informed, but how would you go about doing that?
I think that you're really touching upon exactly the challenge that I faced when I was in high school. I'd always try to think of what can I ask someone to do that will only take them 1 minute, what can I ask someone that will take 5 minutes. You definitely have to meet people on their level and just remind them that even low-level participation can be really instrumental and helpful.
We actually have a question from Twitter. What do you think can be done to get young people more passionate about human rights?
One of the great powers of youth is through social media. We can really hold human rights violators accountable. The fact that I was able to be interviewed by the Voice of America this morning and then have over 100 people automatically like the interview online and start interacting with me on Facebook, that is a fulfillment to me of what I work for in terms of people-to-people diplomacy.
Monica?
What do you like to order?
Can I get 1 chicken tom yum,
Okay.
3 orders of spring rolls, 2 Thai dumpling orders,
Okay.
1 green chicken curry, 1 shrimp red curry,
Okay.
and then 2 pad thai.
Can you eat more chicken?
Can I do 1 with tofu and 1 with chicken?
Okay.
And one bok choy?
Okay. Your order is going to be ready in 20 minutes, okay? See you.
Perfect. Okay.
You know where we are, right? It's on Jefferson, okay?
Yep, perfect. See you soon.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Free food is another important aspect of DC living. Yeah. That's how a lot of interns are paid in this town. Yes.
So Hayes and I took Chinese class in college together, and we had all these. We would always do our performance dialogues together, and we have these things of being
Because we were equally bad.
No, it gets much worse. In my high school, our final for our Chinese class was to create a music video. So out circulating on the internet somewhere is.
Right.
It's really an honor to be here. I'm especially pleased to see so many young people here. It's really possible that many of the people in this room may apply for the U.S. Youth Observer program in the future, and we really are among people that will be future leaders at the UN. So I think that there's a tendency to look at the UN as bureaucratic and static. Even me, someone that had grown up doing Model United Nations, had studied the UN, I still had a cynicism that the UN wasn't a place for a dynamic atmosphere. Spending time there and seeing the way that the UN is engaging with civil society and in public-private partnership, and the fact that there were, all these youth delegates there, and it definitely broke down a lot of misconceptions I had even in my own mind. What my next part of the year looks like is making sure that I feel that I've spoken to young people, in areas in which young people are facing very serious challenges, but they may not know a lot about the UN. And every time that I engage with a young person, whether it's talking to local high schools in my hometown in Seattle or with a group of young people from New York City, I'm humbled every time that I have the opportunity to be with the young people that hopefully I represent well at the UN.
And we need your youth and your energy.